$175,000 a year. 2. Good jobs. 2 kids in a decent school district. A fridge full of groceries and a savings account that somehow never passes $15,000. I sat down with a real family budget at that income level and traced every dollar from January to December. When I got to the last line, nobody said a word. You earn more than 87% of American households. The Bureau of Labor Statistics confirms that. You are not imagining the disconnect between what you earn and what you keep. Something structural is happening between your gross pay and your actual life, and most of it is invisible. Here is what I am going to show you. There is a specific category in your budget, one most families never even label, that is consuming between 18 and 23% of your take-home pay. Once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Let me walk you through the budget line by line. A family earning $175,000 in a moderate cost state, think North Carolina, Colorado, parts of Texas, starts with roughly $175,000 gross. Federal income tax takes approximately $26,000. State income tax, depending on where you live, pulls another $6,000 to $9,000. FICA, Social Security and Medicare, takes about $13,000. If you are in a state like Florida or Texas, your number shifts. Worth knowing your own. After taxes and a 6% 401k contribution, roughly $10,500, your take-home lands somewhere around $119,000 to $122,000. Call it $10,000 a month, hitting the checking account. Now watch what happens. Mortgage or rent on a home that fits a family of 4 in a decent school district. $2,800 a month is conservative. That is $33,600 a year. Property tax and homeowners insurance add another $5,000, sometimes more. Childcare or after-school programs for 2 kids, $12,000 a year on the low end. If one child is under 5, double it. 2 car payments, insurance, gas, maintenance, $11,000 a year. So, where are we? Over $60,000 committed, and we have not put a single thing in the fridge yet. Groceries for a family of 4. The USDA Moderate Cost Plan puts this at $13,200 annually. That number keeps climbing. Pause here. We have not bought a single Christmas gift. We have not taken a vacation. We have not replaced a water heater or paid a medical copay, and we have already committed roughly $75,000 of that $120,000 in take-home. You have $45,000 left, about $3,700 a month for everything else. Here is where the invisible category lives. I call it the of course spending. These are costs that feel non-negotiable when you earn good money. They are not luxuries, they are permissions. A $200 family cell phone plan. Of course, $30 here for a kids app subscription, $60 there for the gym you use twice a month, $150 for the lawn service because Saturday morning is your only breathing room. Youth sports registration, $200 a quarter per kid, a $45 haircut every 4 weeks. The pet, the vet, the insurance on the pet, none of these feel irresponsible. Every single one feels earned. Add them up. The exposed middle. Most families at this income carry between $1,800 and $2,300 a month, and of course, spending. That is $21,600 to $27,600 a year. Right? There is your missing wealth. Now, your first instinct is probably to start cutting that list. But what if I told you that cutting almost never works? And there is a specific behavioral reason. Why? Stay with me, because the mechanism behind this is more important than the budget itself. This is the part that landed hard when I ran this budget. After the of course layer, the family had somewhere between $1,500 and $1,900 a month left for savings, debt paydown, home repairs, vacations, clothing, gifts, medical out-of-pocket, and every single surprise. $1,500 to hold the entire margin of a family earning $175,000. Now, you might be thinking, well, just cut some of those costs. And sure, you can. But here is what the research actually shows. A study published in the Journal of Consumer Research found that households adapt their committed spending to within 8 to 12% of their take-home income within 18 months of any raise. That means when you got that $15,000 bump 2 years ago, roughly $1,200 a month, you're, of course, layer absorbed almost all of it before you made a single conscious decision. The raise did not fail. Your cost structure has a thermostat and it reset itself automatically. That is the mechanism, not a willpower problem. A thermostat problem. But it cuts both ways. One important counterpoint. This thermostat is not destiny. Behavioral economists at Duke found that households that automate savings increases at the moment of a raise before the new paycheck normalizes retain 60 to 70% of that raise in actual savings. So the mechanism works both ways, but only if you act before your spending resets, not after. By the time you feel the new normal, the window has closed. Let me say that again. You have roughly 18 months after any income increase before your committed spending absorbs it entirely. The window is not when you feel rich. The window is the week. The new number shows up on your pay stub. So now you have the full picture, the budget, the invisible layer, and the thermostat that protects it. Here is what to do with this. First, tonight, pull up your last 3 months of bank and credit card statements. Every recurring charge, every subscription, every auto pay. Add them all up and write down the monthly number. The median American household has over 12 subscription services running simultaneously, according to West Monroe Partners. That is just subscriptions. Your full, of course, total is bigger. Second, put that number next to your monthly savings. If your, of course, total is more than 1.5 times your monthly savings, the thermostat is already running your cash flow. That is the line. Third, for your next raise or bonus, set up an automatic transfer to savings or brokerage for at least half the after-tax increase before the first full paycheck arrives. Beat the thermostat before it resets. This is how the math works. Your numbers are yours to run. The family whose budget I broke down was not doing anything wrong. They were doing what $175,000 a year feels like it permits. The problem was never the income. The problem was a spending category they never labeled, quietly consuming 18 to 23% of their take-home, growing a little every year, and feeling completely reasonable every step of the way. That budget revealed something else. The family had not updated their 401k contribution in 4 years. 4 years of raises, 4 years of the thermostat resetting, and the one automatic wealth-building tool they already had was still set to the number they picked when they were earning $30,000 less. I ran the difference. At historical market averages, that gap between what they contributed and what they could have contributed may have cost them somewhere north of $40,000 in future retirement value. That is a different math problem, and it is worth pulling apart on its own.